Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, in this episode, I really want to discuss certain things that individuals are consuming every day that are highly inflammatory. I mean, being a resident of the United States of America, this is a nation that we can pretty much consider to be an inflammation nation because of the foods, the readily or easily accessible foods in this country. In this country, it is so easy to find foods that are bad for you, and somewhat more difficult to find foods that are good for you. And I never really wanted to be that open, but I'm getting so many new patients as well as just individuals I know that are presenting with all types of issues, and when they do their annual visits with their primary care physician, their inflammation numbers are off the charts. And it's basically, for the most part, a result of what they're eating. And there are certain foods that do serve as a culprit for triggering an inflammatory response within the body, and that's what I want to talk about in this episode. I want to go over a few of them, of the many. And I'm going to start with sugar and high fructose corn syrup, because high fructose corn syrup is in so many of the products that you eat that are on the shelves in your average supermarket. And the thing is because the label looks so pretty, many individuals don't bother to read the ingredients. They don't. And that's not good. But sugar and high fructose corn syrup is everywhere, especially in Western society. And they're hiding in places you least expect. And you see, when there's a surge in inflammation in your body, that contributes to insulin resistance, and then bingo, chronic diseases. And some individuals will feel, all right, just cutting down on candy or sweets would help. There's tons of hidden sugars in the processed foods in which you eat as well. So it's best that you read the label. And for the most part, you'll learn this as a result of making acupuncture a part of your life, because acupuncturists globally are awesome. And we've changed hundreds of millions of lives. Okay? Possibly even billions. But another is trans fats, artificial trans fats, which are known to be a health risk. And of course, it has the ability to drive up inflammation within the body. And examples of that is like margarine or various types of baked goods, fast foods. And these baked goods are what you're finding on your supermarket shelves or even in some of your bakeries. You have more control over baked goods in which you consume if you're making it and you're careful with what ingredients you're using. But understand something. Artificial trans fats have the ability to alter a person's body processes and as well as promote inflammation. And I'm going to tell you something else. In my travels around the world, Artificial trans fats are banned in many countries, believe it or not. So you want to keep a sharp eye out for trans fats. What's another? Refined carbs. Yeah, that's another one. Refined carbohydrates. You know, when you see those croissants and bagels and pastries, they tend to be stripped of their fiber as well as other nutrients. So it tends to leave behind simple carbohydrates that tend to spike blood sugar levels. And it's important that you're aware of that. Okay, so you want to look to replace refined carbs with, let's say, like whole grains to keep inflammation at low levels, as well as enjoying a more stable energy supply as well. Another is processed meats. Like, there are a lot of bacon lovers, especially in America. Now, I've been to different countries and provinces in China, different countries in Africa, Japan, different countries in Europe. I've been throughout the Caribbean, South America, and I've never come across menus with so many items on it to eat that included bacon. But bacon is a fine example of a processed meat, along with sausages and deli meats. And deli meats are very popular in America as well. And they contain lots of, it's very high in unhealthy fats, as well as additives that tend to promote inflammation. And you see processed meats like bacon and sausage and deli meats and so forth can increase your risk of disease, like, let's say, cancer or heart disease. But if you feel you need some form of meat, lean, well-fed chicken breast, I'm not gonna make urge strong recommendations on a podcast. I mean, if you ever need an Eastern nutrition consultation session, just go to acupuncturesmylife.com and just book one. But processed meats are not the way to go, because when it comes to acupuncture, it's about health being well. That's where your wealth is. It's not in any type of bank account, whether it's checking, savings, retirement, crypto, doesn't matter. It's not in your purse, your pocket, or your wallet. As well as the wealth is not in a shoebox in a closet or under your mattress. The wealth is in you. And the better you take care of yourself, the richer you become. Keep that in mind. But another thing in which we consume that spikes inflammation numbers is alcohol. And I speak of this a lot. Many want to come back after listening to an Acupuncture's My Life podcast and speak of moderation. I speak of no alcohol, period. Room temperature water and herbal teas. Because consuming alcohol is definitely like a pathway to inflammation where, your liver cells are being damaged and beyond. So your liver's highly at risk. You're faced with systemic inflammation that affects the entire body. And if you feel you're addicted to alcohol, see an acupuncturist, because there's special protocols to get you off of it, to help you get off of it. Another inflammatory food source is vegetable and seed oils. Because you see, consuming high levels of certain vegetable and seed oils, which tend to be rich in omega-6 fatty acids, not omega-3, but omega-6. And this can lead or contribute to an imbalance in fatty acids within your body, which therefore promotes inflammation. Now, don't get me wrong, omega-6 fatty acids are essential, but it needs to be balanced with omega-3 fatty acids. It's your yin and yang. It's about balance. Well, I wouldn't call it yin and yang, because yin and yang represents fire and water, but it's about balance. It really is. Another's fried foods, French fries, fried chicken. You can fry so many other things. I haven't eaten fried foods in decades, but fried foods. You know, even though it's high in calories, it's not the calories that I'm worried about. The fact that it's fried, high temperature, and cooked in oils. Recipe for disaster, especially when it comes to inflammation. Because fried foods tend to create harmful compounds that the body recognizes as being foreign, and therefore triggering an inflammation response. And again, just like alcohol, some will say cut back on fried foods. I'd say get rid of it and watch how you feel. And watch how you feel afterwards. But you know what? I need you to do me a favor. If you're lifting something heavy right now, do me a favor. Rest it down. I don't care if you're in the gym, home moving furniture, or you're at work. Rest it down. And if you're crossing the street, hurry up and safely get across the street. And if you're operating a vehicle with propellers, jet engines, land at your nearest airport, wheels, pull over to the side of the road. Because now I need you to close your eyes. And I need you to say to yourself right now, acupuncture is my life. And now open them. Boom. You are now brand new. And brand new you are. Now another thing is artificial sweeteners. So you're saying, like, some will say, all right, I'm not going to do the white sugar. I'll do, I forgot the name of these artificial sweeteners because I don't use them, but no, not good. And especially for individuals who's worried about calorie-free artificial sweeteners. They may be calorie-free, but they're not free from health concerns. Keep that in the back of your head. Because they can disrupt a person's gut microbiome, therefore increasing inflammation within the body. Organic raw honey, not too much of it, is an awesome sweetener. And it's not artificial. Keep that in mind. And you know what else I stay away from? Dairy products. Not just milk, but cheese and yogurt. Because dairy products tend to trigger inflammation. Okay, and especially those that are lactose intolerant or have some type of dairy sensitivity. Because its symptoms and indicators are like stomach discomfort, diarrhea, issues with your skin. Stay away from dairy products. That's just my recommendation. And gluten-containing grains. That as well. But the biggest thing that you should look to do is to make acupuncture a part of your life. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?